We often hear people saying, "Oh, we live in such a toxic world." Toxicity that is affecting our health. We blame the toxicity in the environment which leads to our unhealthy existence. Agreed. The pollution in the air, water, all the toxins that we live with do affect our health. But isn't that only one kind of toxicity? What about the toxicity created by our relationships with material things? Is that not responsible for our poor health? A toxic culture where material possessions reign supreme? A culture that leads to depression and loneliness? This is better explained by Karl Marx, the great economist and philosopher who wrote this in his alienation theory in the 19th century. Marx divided the alienation in 4 categories. Alienating ourselves from nature. The first category is how our culture is alienating ourselves from nature. So much destruction of nature, from felling trees to polluting factories, and the list goes on. A direct impact on our health, both mental and physical. Alienation from people. Alienation from people, according to Karl Marx, is the second kind of alienation that is destroying our culture. We are less connected with people like our forefathers were. Less physical contact. Now there is more communication through technology, therefore less trust, less sharing. We have lost the true essence of what relationships are all about. This translates into a physical and mental illness. The third alienation is about alienation from work. A large part of the society engages in a type of work only to survive, only to earn their living. They do not really enjoy their work life. There is lack of fulfillment in whatever they do. This surely leads to anxiety and depression and a huge sense of meaninglessness. This meaninglessness one tries to compensate with a false meaning of possessions. Expensive cars, expensive clothes, hiding behind makeup, all substitutes for the meaningless and unfulfilled work life that one leads. Hiding behind false identities may bring temporary pleasures, but deep down it adds to the toxic culture we live in. A culture where deep down people are unhappy and depressed. The fourth alienation that Karl Marx talks about is alienation from our own selves. We have lost our identity. As children, we love doing things that bring out our true identity. But as we grow up, we fall into the trap of what the society expects from us. A music lover or dancer may be forced to become a doctor or a lawyer because he or she comes from a family of doctors or lawyers, and so on. We are constantly, directly or indirectly, made to suppress our love for what we want to do to what others expect from us. We no longer have a sense of truth, a sense of reality. In the bargain, we lose a sense of who we truly are. Friends, it is time to wake up to the reality that Karl Marx and so many other scholars have written about. It is time we stop blaming only the toxicity in the environment that are affecting our physical and mental health. It is time we recognize that we need to go back to our natural selves, the natural self that we were born with, the natural self that was born to love, that was born with compassion, born with empathy, all that we still have inside of us. Let us nurture it and together make this world a beautiful place to live in.